I dyed my own hair last night. What do you think? I want to warn you, this video is long, but it gets worse and worse and worse as it continues. This is what blows my mind the most. This is a company who a lot of YouTubers have worked with, who a lot of viewers have supported through these YouTubers. So you would think that A, they have their shit together, and B, the dangers of being so horrible to somebody who does these types of videos for a living. So like, I don't even feel bad. You'll understand why. Welcome back. I have been dying to tell you this story for so long because this is the most angry that I've been in so long, and I couldn't believe, new year, new me, let's expose some hoes. I would never expose somebody for the sake of being malicious or just because I didn't like them. That being said, if you wrong me or constantly disrespect me or fuck me over in some way, I feel it's my duty to protect other people from going through the same situation. Also, I have no worries or concerns about telling this story because I have the emails, I have the receipts, I have the text messages, I have everything. This is just my God honest review and experience with this company. Basically, this is like a very angry Yelp review. Only instead of typing this into Yelp or submitting them to the Better Business Bureau, I'll leave my opinions here where people who I know care about my opinion can find it. Before we get started, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not. My analytics show that 50% of my views come from non-subscribed viewers. Why do you want to be a part of that statistic? I'm gonna try to get through the beginning of this story as quickly as possible because once I get to the text message and voice memo portion of this, your mind is going to explode so hard As you guys may recall, when I announced my tour, I said that I was going to be donating a large portion of my merch proceeds to charity. Because this tour was very last minute, I didn't have time to go find a merch company, make designs, work out deals, any of that stuff. So I decided to go with a company that I've already worked with in a very short-term campaign. Reprint the same shirt, easy enough. I won't say the name of the company, but we'll just say that it rhymes with represent.com. I agreed to tour mid-early October, and right away I reach out to the guy that I worked with before at represent.com on October 17th. I explained that I'm going on tour late November and that I just want to reprint the same shirt that we already did together and I need it fast. He says no problem and asks for my phone number. Finally, on October 26th, I email him again and I'm like, hey, what's up? I've been trying to reach you. And then another full work week later, he finally responds to me. He says, are you still interested? I can put you in touch with somebody else to get things rolling. At this point, it's October 31st. 2 full weeks after I initially reached out and I'm getting redirected to somebody else. Again, they know my timeline, but they're confident that they can make this happen. No worries, we have plenty of time. So now I'm talking to this new guy. Sorry, I am rushing through this part. I promise this story is worth it. Stick through it to the end. It gets significantly better by the minute. I promise. So and I get in touch right away on November 1st, which is great. He calls me, we work out everything. I explained to him that I want to bring back the original YouTube is My Therapy black and white baseball tee that I sold before. That's what I want to bring on the road with me. If you feel like I keep repeating the fact that all I'm doing is reprinting the same exact shirt that I've already sold, congratulations, you're already smarter than Then he asked me what the expected turnout is going to be at the shows. Tell him I'll email him back as soon as I get a response from my tour people with all that information. So on November 4th, 3 days later, I sent him all the information that he asked for. I heard nothing in response for another full work week. Tour now starts in less than a month. So on November 9th, I reach out again and I say, hey, what's up? And he responds with, what design did you want to go with? I think it's safe to assume that my order has not been started yet. So I respond, the YouTube is My Therapy. And I remind him that the merch has to be at the offices by November 28th in order for me to get it on the trailer and bring it with me on tour. He then responded with, is this the design you want? And then linked me to my original t-shirt campaign. You know, the only campaign we've ever done together, thus my only t-shirt design. And then he asks, what sizes and style would you like? If I had $1 for every time I told that boy that I wanted baseball tees, I could just give that to charity instead of selling merch. And it would probably be more money than I made on the damn t-shirt. Now about the sizing. Pay attention because this is about to become a very huge fucking part of this story. When we had that initial phone call, I told him that I've never done this before and I don't really know the best route to go with sizing. And he said that if I would just tell him how many tickets we plan to sell at each venue, they could send over their size recommendations. So I've just been planning on that this whole time. But he asks me for my sizing again. So I asked my network to help me out and then they send me sizing info to give him. This is the sizing info I gave him. I don't know what any of this means. But the people who sent this to me said that any reputable t-shirt company will know what this means. But here's the important part right here. Let me know if I can help out in any way. Happy to hop on a call if you have any questions. So I think that it's reasonable to assume that he has all the information he requested, all the information he needs, and then if he has any questions, we have answers, right? Okay, it is now November 21st. 7 days before this merch needs to be delivered, and 9 days before I leave the state for tour. Once again, I have been on the receiving end of radio silence, so I email again. Hi, I'm stressed. Will we have merch delivered by Monday? Responds, I'm stressed too. Are the amounts you listed in a particular style or color? Sorry, we need all the details in order to place this order. Particular style or color. I respond, call me. He emails back, there is absolutely no way we can source 300 baseball tees this late in the game with the Thanksgiving holiday coming up. I'm really sorry about this. Late in the game. I reached out initially over a month ago, and here it is, 7 days from when I need these shirts. And you're telling me now, after I reached out for a status update, that you can't source the baseball tees? What is that? You're a t-shirt company and you can't source the shirts. So I finally get on the phone with him. I tell him that the baseball tee was very important to me because there's a lot of viewers of my channel who aren't super comfortable with their bodies, and I wanted an option where you could cover your arms if you're not comfortable with your arms. But since this obviously isn't an option anymore, let's find a solution. And we decided the best option is to just print basic tees that have the image on it, and let's get this printed as soon as possible because I just need something to bring on tour with me. So then he emails me right after our phone call and he says, our printer is telling us that we can't do this on this tight of a turnaround. Because I guess over a month of notice is too tight of a turnaround. I had asked for 300 shirts. They're saying there's absolutely no way, it's too tight of a turnaround. So I say, okay, how many can we get before I leave? If we have to send more out as I'm on tour, then we will do that. But right now, how many shirts can I get for my first show date? Because I already have these designs. It shouldn't be that hard, and it's vital that I start with merch because I've been promoting this whole time that I'm gonna be donating the proceeds from merch to charity. And if I don't have merch, that's one, a terrible look, and B, so much lost money that could have gone to a good cause. Let's figure this out. He says, trying to find a solution, stand by. A full day passes, no response. I email him, updates, no response. So I remember that I have his phone number, so I give him a call. And if your blood isn't boiling yet, prepare yourself. Get some ice packs, because it's about to get real hot in here. I said, hi, is this He said, yeah, who is this? I said, it's Gabby. We need to figure out merch ASAP. This is the 21st of November. He waits 2.5 hours. I'm sorry, I can't talk now, but I'm actively working on a solution. Next day, the 22nd. What's going on? I'm getting a lot of silence over here. He says, I'm sorry, I've been trying to figure it out whilst out of office and on vacation, and unfortunately, we can't fulfill by Monday. So I said, you can't fulfill any shirts. 0 shirts. I came to you guys because you already had the design I wanted and everything, so timing wouldn't be an issue. You're telling me you can't have any printed by Monday. So he says, listen, I apologize, it's Thanksgiving. And I said, it wasn't when I contacted you guys weeks ago. Mind you, it is Tuesday. Thanksgiving's on Thursday. Says, I don't know what to tell you other than I'm sorry. Like, we can't read minds. Bitch, can you read emails? So I said, so what you're saying is there's absolutely no shirts for Monday. You can't even print 20 shirts for the first show. Like, that makes no sense to me. Says, I mean, they can't print 300 shirts. And I said, okay, so why are you ignoring the fact that I keep saying they can't have any done? Like, how many times did I say to him, okay, print as many as you can and then we'll ship the rest later? Which is actually a perfectly normal thing to do in merch because you don't know how many you sell. So in the middle of tour, if you need more, you print more and they get shipped to your tour stop. He said, our printing facilities are closed Thursday through Sunday. It's Tuesday. So I said, get as many as you can printed tomorrow and then we'll deal with the rest Monday when they open again. Ignores me. Half an hour later, I said, good? He said, I'm going to put the order in and see how many we can get by Monday. I said, good. We need to get as many as possible as soon as we can and then we'll get the rest sent later, and I'm assuming those extra shipping charges will be on you guys. No response the rest of the day. So the next day, I say, what's happening? He said, won't be able to find out until Monday. Our office and printer was closed today and will be closed through Sunday. Order is placed to try to get as many as possible. And I said, okay, so there's something being printed. He said, what are you asking? Can I guarantee Monday delivery? No. And I said, Did I say that, or did I say, is something being printed? He said the words right here. Something is being printed. That was Wednesday, November 23rd. So I decide, let me step back for a second. Don't breathe down their necks. Let them do their work. They said something's being printed. They still have a week to figure this shit out. No response. Tuesday, November 29th, I'm getting my hair colored. I text him, need updates. Half an hour, no response, but I get a text from Angela, who works at my network, who said, hey, just send us both an email. You're CC'd on it. So he emails me and Angela and basically says, we need to know what style shirt you want and sizing info. So I try to call him and he says, in a meeting, I said, I'm confused what the problem is. You told me things were being printed Monday. He said, I told you that we would try. And then I sent him this screenshot. Something is being printed. I have the email where I sent you the sizing info and I told you multiple times that I want the plain tee. And he said, the sizing info is a total fucking mess. It doesn't have amounts, doesn't have locations, doesn't have anything. It was sent over the holiday break. I honestly don't know what to tell you. And I said, you have to be fucking joking. And now I'm saying fuck because he said fuck. And I said, you said something was being printed. If that was not true, why would you say something is being printed? You did not ask for any additional information. And he said, I can't help that we didn't have all the proper info. And he says, I'm not a mind reader. Are you an email reader? I'm just like going off. I'm like, you had every bit of information that you asked for. You literally did not ask for any additional information. You had the design, you had the style, you had the sizing, and he just goes, tour merch is not our primary business model, it's e-commerce. What does that matter? And he said, can you make sense of that sizing info? I can't. And I said, if you couldn't, then you should have said that. I said that to you how long ago? And here's my biggest issue, okay? Besides the fact that he's trying to pretend like he didn't have all this information that he had and he responded to, and trying to make it seem like it's my fault when it's clearly not. Why am I only finding out this information when I'm asking him, what are the updates? If any of this was an issue, don't you think that he would contact me and say, hey, by the way, I know that you're supposed to be getting a delivery yesterday, but we haven't even placed your order because we don't have the info that we need. For some reason, they had lost it or didn't understand it. Don't you think that it would make sense for them to reach out and say, hey, we don't understand this, and not just, you know, not printing the shirts? Like, what was the plan? To just ignore me and just like not print the shirts, and then I show up to my first show and I'm like, oh, guess I don't have shirts. That's fine. So I said, I sent that to you how long ago? And he said, over a holiday where we were essentially closed, no other printer could have done what you were asking. Actually demanding, asterisk, asterisk, not asking, demanding. And I said, that you do your job? And he said, it's not my job. So I said, tell me, what exactly is your job? Because I contacted represent.com to do a job and they gave me you. So please tell me, what is your job? If this isn't your job, why are you the one asking me for sizing info? Why are you the person who's telling me all of this? Why are you the person telling me something is being printed? Please, what is your job? And if this isn't your job, can you please tell me whose job it is? Can I please speak to them? He said, we don't have a contract. We don't have anything. We have literally no obligation. Which is true, because they were supposed to send me a contract and didn't, and they were supposed to send me an invoice and didn't. So he says, listen, I want to try and remedy this, but it may be beyond that at this point. Our printer was delayed and we won't have shirts by Wednesday. We can have 100 pieces of unisex by Friday. That's the best we can do. I'm sorry, but I'm at the mercy of our supply chain and our printer. I'm not the one printing the shirts. I was told one thing and it got delayed, which happens. I admit I dropped the ball on this, but at this point there's nothing I can do. I'm sorry. So I was like, if you're at the mercy of your printer and your supply chain, don't come at me like you don't have the order information, because you have everything you needed from me. And if you didn't, you sure as hell did not ask me for any additional info, which I would have supplied to you immediately. And I can't believe I had to ask asked you for an update in order for you to tell me this. And then I said, you're telling me you can't have 40 shirts by my show tomorrow. He said, what time does the show start and where? I tell him it's 4 p.m. Give him the address. He says, thank you. They're down the street from us, so that should be able to happen. I'm doing everything in my power. So I said, great, so let's get back to print as many as possible, which was the plan in the first place, and we'll figure out the rest later. And he said, in the meantime, I need tour dates, addresses, styles, and quantities. And then I sent this.
We had this conversation already. You have the quantities, and I sent you the sizing breakdown, which if you don't understand, then we can get a new sizing breakdown. I wish that you had told me you didn't understand the sizing breakdown days ago, weeks ago. When did I send that? 2 weeks ago, I think, when I was rehearsing.
And he sent question mark, question mark. So I said,
if you don't understand the sizing info, talk to Angela. She will help you understand the sizing info and the sizing breakdown that we wanted. And the quantity was, I believe, 250. Check the email.
So he said, I need it in an email. It has to be documented. And I said,
okay, you had it in an email. Go through the emails. Everything is there. You'll be able to find it. It's there. You can find it.
and by the way, I'm driving around. I'm getting my hair done. I'm literally driving to rehearsal as this is happening. So I don't have time to do all this again. So I'm just like, check your email. It's in there. Everything you need there is in the same email thread. He said, I need to know who to invoice. I need an email. So I said,
I'm driving and I'm in rehearsal, so I can't send another email right now. If you need another email, call Angela. She can give you whatever you need. You could have called her at any point that you were confused about this stuff, and she would have been happy to assist you. Or you could have called me at any point. I would have been happy to assist you. Call Angela. She will help you figure it out to get as many as possible.
so after I tell him to talk to Angela over and over and over again, and he needs an email, he says, loop me in with your manager so this can be done properly. He had literally just emailed the both of us. He emailed her and CC'd me on the email. What do you mean? He said, we will most likely have 40 shirts for your show tomorrow, but until I get a formal order, we can't get the rest ordered. The sizing info doesn't make sense to anyone here. I don't have all the info. I need an email. I'm sorry. So basically just repeating himself.
We were told that sizing info, that any reputable printer would understand what it meant. And again, you got that email, I don't know how long ago. If it was a problem and the sizing info didn't make sense, I don't know why I'm hearing about it now once I prompted you. That is something that should have been brought to my attention a very long time ago, and you could have had that sorted a very long time ago.
He said, you forwarded me some whack attachment. We still don't have any contract, invoice info, tour dates, and shipping locations. We need those things. I'm sorry.
Talk to Angela. Why are you confused? The invoice, the tour dates, the contract, talk to Angela. I don't know why you're still texting me about it. You should be talking to Angela, who, in case you forgot, is on the email you sent me this morning. Contact her. She will send you everything you need. And if you needed an invoice and a contract and all of these things that you're saying you needed, I don't know why I'm hearing about that now, Tuesday, the 29th of November, the day before I'm leaving for tour, and the day after I was told I would have something printed.
I dropped off the conversation from there. I finally got him to contact Angela, and they figured it out, and he delivered 40 shirts to the venue for my first show, which is kind of mind-boggling that it was this whole issue in the first place where I just kept saying, print as many as you can, print as many as you can, and then we'll figure out the rest later. And then finally, after all this, he goes, all right, I have an idea. Like, we'll print as many as we can. And then, so he goes, just dropped off. Better late than never. So it's not done yet. After I get this order, my merch guy comes up to me and he says, we have 0 larges. So I text them and I say, 0 larges? Do you not understand that the original sizing info you gave us doesn't make any sense? I told Angela that, and you failed to replace it with any other input. And when I get my order, it's from, actually, CustomInk.com, which is a shitty online t-shirt service. So basically, all the shirt company does is order shirts from an online printing company and then sell them through their company. I don't know if they're a part of CustomInk.com now or what it is. That's why none of this sizing information makes sense. That's why they don't know how to print stuff. That's why they can't rush stuff, because they're not doing anything. They're depending on this larger supply chain printer, which is a completely different website than Represent.com. If I wanted to order from CustomInk.com, I would have. And I would have saved the price of the middleman, which which, oh, we'll get on that as well. But anyways, I said, regardless, you sent me 0 larges when clearly the order has some. And he said, I try to keep talking to you on a minimum as you tend to go on tirades. And I said, that's why you have Angela's info. He said, you are completely thankless and show 0 appreciation. I guess I should be showing some appreciation for my very late incomplete orders. But he says, I look forward to not working with you again. And I said, I look forward to that as well. Until then, get my larges here. So eventually, after so much stress and yelling and throwing everything I've learned in therapy out the window, I finally got all of the shirts that I initially ordered, plus a bunch of random sizes that I didn't order. And he's basically like, you know, now we have all these kinks worked out for the future. And basically that it's gonna be easier once we open an online store. And I said, I have no intention on opening an online store with you guys. I have no intention of ordering more merch from you guys. Our relationship is over. And he was like, I'm so happy that I bent over backwards to try to meet your demands. Bent over backwards. My orders were late and incomplete. You told me that I'm thankless and show 0 appreciation for the orders that are late and incomplete. I had to chase you down to get any shirts at all. You told me you look forward to never working with me again, but you bent over backwards to help me. The ending of the story is I ended up having another merch company come in and save the day, printed a ton of shirts so fast, got them to me immediately, charged a fraction of the price that they charged, which here's what really got me. First of all, they know that this is for charity. When we were talking about the pricing and stuff, and this was all on the phone, so unfortunately I do not have receipts for this. They told me that it would come to about $8 a shirt, which is actually really, really high. But I was like, you know what? I need this. It's last minute. They already have my design. They also said that they were going to waive the shipping charges because they, as admitted in the text, dropped the ball. I get my invoice and they charged me $11 a shirt. So either they lied about the price initially, or what I think happened, and you know, I'm not accusing of this, I'm just assuming, is they hid the shipping fees, the free shipping, in the cost so that I would still pay shipping. They would just hide it in the cost of each shirt. So they upped the shirts $3 from what they originally quoted me on the phone. And I know that that's the number they quoted me because as soon as we got off the phone, I remember doing all of the math for the shirts. This is all coming out of my pocket to pay up front. And I remember doing all the math times 8. Because they told me $8. And then I got an invoice for $11. And at this point, I didn't even argue with them because I was just so happy to be done working with them. But as far as I see it, they literally took money away from charity. And that to me is just like, whew! That was a doozy. And it's time for Showstopper of the Week. This week's Showstopper is Gabby Fangirl at My Queen Gabby, because obviously it's somebody who's very wonderful and supportive to me. Anyways, guys, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Check out my vlog channel if you have not. As always, I love you very much. Thank you for being a part of my family, and I'll see you next time.
I got ass cheeks on my white tee. All these hoes keep grinding on me. Coming in the club every night of the week. Keep a nigga popping them crispy white tees. I got ass cheeks on my white tee. All these hoes keep grinding on me. Coming in the club every night of the week. Keep a nigga popping them crispy white tees.